This is Sherman DeJohn. We're here with Jen Hailton, Director of Marketing and Sales Strategy for Disney Cruise Line, on board the brand new Disney Destiny. We're going to talk all about this exciting new ship and how advisors should think about selling it. Ready to jump in?
Absolutely.
And this is Insider Travel Report. Jen, thanks so much for taking the time. Congratulations on the launch of the Destiny. How does it feel to finally be on board and see guests experiencing the ship for the first time?
My goodness, it's actually the biggest present, the biggest gift we could have received. You know, when we start working on these ships, it's absolutely years in the making. It's an incredible feat. I mean, from Imagineers to designers to marketers to our operations teams, and everything is working like a well-trained orchestra. But then you really see it in the wild, so to speak, with people coming on board, and the reaction is priceless. My favorite reaction of all is when they enter the Grand Hall, and I call it the eyes up, jaws down effect. Like, it's stunning. It's stunning, and the storytelling begins the moment you step aboard.
Yeah, and that Grand Hall really has that kind of wow factor in terms of the chandelier that's vibranium,
Yeah.
the lighting, kind of the detailing there. So, yeah, it's definitely a moment when you step on the ship.
It's a showstopper for sure.
So, from a marketing and strategy perspective, how do you describe that kind of core story of the Disney Destiny? How does that connect to kind of the larger cruise line vision and brand evolution as you keep rolling out these new ships?
Yeah, it really starts with the our fleet overall. You know, we're a cruise line designed for families. That was very intentional from the day we started over 27 years ago, and we've really held true to that mission. Families look all shapes, sizes, and varieties today, and we love that. So no matter what, we have experiences designed with them in mind. Everything for things for kids to things for families to things for adults, because you know when the kids enter our kids clubs, the adults have a vacation all on their own as well. It's incredible to see every ship have a unique personality and flavor. And the Disney Destiny is no different. This thematic of heroes and villains really goes back to our 100 years of storytelling and bringing that to the forefront in this incredible space.
Why did you think Heroes and Villains? It was kind of a apropos time to delve into that.
Listen, we're not here to do rinse and repeat. We're here to do things that are different. And when you think about Disney, there's something that we own just perfectly, and that is stories like these. And no one else can create a ship like this themed to heroes and villains. So when we got the idea, we really started looking at that kind of moldable clay and thinking there's something really special and unique and undeniably Disney here. And I don't think it's disappointed.
No, I mean, I just going into the library and seeing all the different artwork along the stairs and just all the different ways you bring that to life is you start to really just see the whole library come to life.
It is. I mean, the whole ship is a living art gallery, to be honest. I mean, you can't walk up a stairwell without stopping in awe of the beautiful art that's there in the vestibule all throughout the ship. But, you know, everything is incredibly intentional. You know, from the theme of the ship, the way we thread it through the art, the way we thread it through each of the spaces, the heroes we brought to life in very unique ways, the villains we brought to life in very unique ways. This is coordination at its very finest.
And the Disney Cruise Line more broadly has been growing pretty rapidly. There was the Wish, the Treasure, and now the Destiny in recent years. Why do you think this cruise line is resonating so strongly with travelers right now? And what does the Destiny contribute to that momentum?
Yeah. So cruising is having its heyday overall. I mean, it's an incredible way to see the world, an incredible way to experience a family vacation, but you have to find your own unique place in that space. And what I think Disney Cruise Line brings to the table in the cruise industry is we bring a level of storytelling, immersion, and entertainment that this company is widely known for, but we bring it in a way that, you know, where you don't have to enter a park every day and go back to your hotel, and your magic floats with you. So when you stay on board, you're living amidst the magic. You're living in the stories. Every day you open your stateroom door, and it's just like a treasure trove of what do you want to do? What do you want to experience? Do you want to see a Broadway show? Do you want to have a drink at DeVille's? Do you want to go play on the Aqua Mouse, you know, our water coaster at sea? It's all waiting, and it's all here, and you're living in the magic.
And it is all of it is kind of rooted in those characters and really propelled by those.
It is. It is. Characters are at the very center of what we do, but we do it in very different ways. So, in addition to very immersive spaces like our Haunted Mansion parlor that's on board, I mean, imagine having a cocktail in that famed attraction. We just love that. You're also finding touches of stories in spaces. So the Sanctum Lounge, for example, is an ode to Doctor Strange, or DeVille's is an ode to the diva herself, Cruella de Vil. So you find different levels of immersion, which is really neat. So whether you're a total theme park Disney attraction enthusiast, or you're somebody who really appreciates Disney and the entertainment we bring to your vacation, you'll find different levels for everyone.
Let's talk about a little bit about the early buzz. So early booking trends, traveler insights. What are you hearing so far as it relates to the Destiny, and how can advisors use that information to kind of anticipate demand, position themselves, and make sure they're even targeting new client segments?
Yeah, we're thrilled with what we're seeing. Over the last several years, we've been given this incredible gift of news. And so when you think about, for a decade, we were 4-ship fleet, and now we're growing up to 13 by 2031. What's incredible about that is it creates great momentum every single day, every single year, not just for a new ship, but for the entire Disney Cruise Line brand. And so what we're finding is while Disney Destiny is booking incredibly well, so is the rest of our fleet. And so when I think about our travel agent community, I often think, the best thing we can do is to convince our guests to book early. Booking early secures the space, your favorite staterooms, the opportunity to choose where you go. It's smart. And of course, what's great about being on a cruise and a Disney cruise is not only do you have time to pay, and your clients have time to pay, but also, should things change, you have that option as well. And so there's a flexibility that comes with cruising that's really spectacular. But getting them to do it early is incredibly important.
Yeah, that's really good advice. You alluded to earlier in terms of that heroes and villains theme, just a little bit about how that idea developed and how guests see that come to life throughout the ship. Just kind of delving into some of those activations and you have the Lion King dining, you have the Hercules live show, which we saw last night, which was captivating.
Amazing. On all of our ships, we love to tell different stories. And so this one, again, gave us the ability to open up our archives, look at all of the stories throughout our history, and find some new ones to tell. One of the very top stories for decades has been The Lion King. So you just said it. Pride Land's Feast of the Lion King is a whole new way for us to bring a dining experience to life with an entire entertainment experience right in the center of it all. We have loved hearing the iconic music and those stories that are a part of that animated film and bringing them to life in an experience that is just wowing families. Hercules, bringing that to the stage in our new Broadway-style production, has been absolutely incredible. It is like a gospel concert with a whole pop flair. And so you'll see it modernized in all new ways. The Muses, Hercules, Hades, and the talent is spectacular. I think when you look at the Disney company, one of the things that we always say is, we are an entertainment company first that happens to have a cruise brand. And so what you see underlying in everything we do, and Disney Hercules is a really good example of it, is that we are bringing you the best of entertainment.
So Destiny will sail year-round from Port Everglades, starting in November, starting this month. How do you approach designing that kind of initial itinerary lineup? And this is a bit of a departure. You're going to be going from Port Everglades now. How does that change kind of the overall guest experience?
Actually, it's fantastic. We've been very intentional about this. So with more ships comes the need to sail from more places to more places, right? So when we think about that, Port Canaveral has been our home for so many years and will continue to be a mainstay. People see Port Canaveral as being a part of the Disney bubble. You're close to Walt Disney World, you're 45 minutes from the port. We transport you, we take care of you. We've done the same thing intentionally with Port Everglades or Fort Lauderdale. We've actually invested and created our own terminal experience. So from the minute that you arrive, we've got incredible airlift to South Florida, great partner hotels that you can stay in for a pre-night. You are literally 4 miles from the port.
It's a really quick trip.
Yes, it's that simple. It's even closer than Port Canaveral. And then when you enter the terminal, it's the Disney terminal. So the entire thing is ours. And I think you'll agree that when you embarked on it, oh my gracious, we have designed it a little bit under the sea. It's very magical from the moment you step aboard. Great cast members to greet you. Here, we also have access. When you're a little further south, you're a little closer to some of those island destinations. So not only do we have our beautiful Castaway Key, but we also have a new island, about a year old, Disney Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point. And so that gives us the opportunity to not only go to one island, but on some itineraries, you get to stop at two.
And those two destinations could not be more different in terms of their flow, in terms of their feel. So being able to sample both is really is a boon for you.
Yeah, it's really cool. We did that intentionally as well. I mean, while they're both in the Bahamas, they're on two different islands, Castaway Key and the island of Eleuthera. We wanted to make sure that we weren't rinsing and repeating, that we were doing something different. I think what's cool is, when you sail with Disney Cruise Line and you step onto the island, all the service, all the storytelling, all the Disney magic and the characters step off with you. And so you've got everything on that island. But to your point, they're very different. So while Castaway Key is this perfect, idyllic little place in the Bahamas, a beautiful day at the beach filled with, pastel umbrellas, mahi for lunch, and just a sunny, sunny day. Lookout Key gives you even a little bit more. You've got wet deck water play areas. You've got an incredible Junkanoo celebration that really celebrates the culture of the Bahamas in an incredibly colorful way. And, our characters get into it as well. So you'll see Mickey and Minnie participate with all new costumes, and they're a part of the show.
Yeah, that island, we were there about a year and a half ago. It has a very special flair to it.
Yes, I adore it.
So as you look ahead, kind of the first year of sailings, what kind of guest reactions or milestones will tell you this ship is striking a chord with travelers?
Yeah, we pride ourselves on excellence, and that's in everything we do, in our decor, our environment, our food quality, especially our service. And so we evaluate on every single cruise. We ask our guests for their feedback, and we mark where we need to improve. Our scores for the last year have been incredibly high across the company. Cruise Line is really dedicated to making sure that we execute with excellence. So as we look at Destiny, we'll be making sure as we mark its progress over the next several weeks, months, that we just fine tune all of the details. Again, coordination is absolutely key, and we never settle. So we're going to keep looking at those scores, and we're going to get the feedback, and we're going to keep adjusting until it is perfect.
And I'm sure with each cruise you learn just a little bit more, refine a little bit more, and just get even more and more kind of efficient.
We're always learning. We're always learning. And sometimes, we're delivering some new things to guests, and we're doing things differently. In fact, our crew on board, as we expand, we have to source more talent from all across the globe. And so we have about 40% new crew on board, and this is their first time, their first contract, their first Disney ship. They're earning their ears, and I'll tell you, they are delivering with excellence now. It's incredible to see them learn from their peers, learn from their leaders, and they'll be with us for years.
That's great. And I ask this of everybody. You've had a chance to kind of get your proverbial sea legs. Do you have a favorite space on board or a hidden gem that people should make sure that they check out?
Yeah, I honestly, I am incredibly partial to the Broadway style shows. Disney Hercules is one I've been waiting for a number of years. It's a story we've told decades ago, but we're telling it in such a fresh new way. The talent that we have on board, some of them are from Broadway. And the modern retelling is one that last night when I saw it, you can't help but leap out of your seat and jump to your feet for a standing ovation. It is really the pinnacle. From the beautiful Walt Disney Theater that has this ode to Fantasia in its design, projection technology, there is a moment where we saw the muses standing on their pillars and the projection was changing their costumes, moment by moment. It was such a spectacle, and it fills me with such tremendous pride to see what we've brought, not only to the stage, but to a floating stage like this all across the ship. There is so much more ahead of us, and things like that get me really excited about the next chapter for Disney Cruise Line.
That's great. Jen, is there anything else that the advisor community should know about the Disney Destiny?
I think what's exciting to know is that our story is just beginning. And so something I always tell the advisors is that we need them to spread the good word of Disney Cruise Line, of this incredible ship, to do this job, but they're really our first touch with the guests. They're the ones who are convincing families that this is the right place, the right product for their family vacation. And I guarantee that if they entrust us with those families, we will 150% deliver the most magical vacation they've ever had. One of the things I'm most proud about is as my kids were growing up and we'd take them sailing on the ship from time to time, they would ask us as we put them to bed each night, when are we going back on the Disney cruise ship? And I've heard other people say that same story all the time. And I think it's just a testament to how powerful that vacation is. I can't remember the last time that I said, when are we going to go back to the shore? When are we going to go back to the Grand Canyon? There are once in a lifetimes, and then there are things that you repeat over and over again because they're that good. They become a tradition and they become a part of family's fabric. So I appreciate everything that our travel advisor community does to create this momentum that in turn creates lifelong family memories.
A lot to explore on board. Congratulations again, Jen, and thank you so much for this great overview.
Thank you. I'm glad you're sailing with us.
And this is Insider Travel Report.